The investigation continues into a fatal fire that killed 4 children in Osage Beach. I'm Ashley Zavala, and coming up, we'll have the latest on that investigation.
The community remembers 4 children who were lost in a tragic fire overnight. I'm Elizabeth Hoffman. I'll have more on those children coming up.
The impact of the deadly fire taking 4 very young lives has many expressing their deepest condolences. I'm Stephanie Harada. Here are reactions from the community.
Churches in the Osage Beach area say they are ready to come together to help a family enduring a tragedy. I'm Courtney Joden, and coming up, we hear more from church leaders.
Live from across mid-Missouri, this is KRCG 13, live at 10.
Oh my God. This is terrible. It makes me sick.
A neighbor reacts with horror while recording a condominium fire that killed 4 small children at the Lake of the Ozarks. Good evening. Investigators are poring over the charred rubble of Tuesday night's fatal fire, hoping to determine the cause.
We begin tonight's team coverage with a live report from KRCG 13's Ashley Zavala, who's live at the scene of the fire with the latest.
Kermit and Megan, authorities continue to try and figure out what caused the fatal fire. 11 fire departments responded to the 4-alarm fire at Compass Point condos just before midnight Tuesday. Officials said 6 people were trapped inside. 2 adults eventually got out. 4 very young children did not. Officials said the 4 children are all between the ages of 2 and 5. They were cousins. They were celebrating a birthday of one of the cousins earlier that day. Fire officials believe the fire began on the 4th floor near the unit where the children resided. Fire officials said because there were deaths in the fire, it is considered a crime scene until proven otherwise.
So when we talk about investigation of this, we're not discounting criminal, but we're not saying that it is suspicious and it is possibly that either. It's just protocol that we do this to make sure the determination is correct.
The father of one of the victims survived the fire. Authorities are still investigating and gathering more information on what caused this tragedy. Reporting live in Osage Beach, Ashley Zavala, KRCG 13.
Okay, thank you, Ashley. That fire left mid-Missourians, including residents of Compass Point, in shock and disbelief.
KRCG 13's Ryan Rumbaugh was the first reporter on the scene this morning and spoke with neighbors who say the loss of the 4 children is devastating.
This area at the Lake of the Ozarks is typically quiet and peaceful. Tuesday night around 11:30, residents of Compass Point experienced something they'll never forget.
And I heard like an explosion, you know, like boom! Then we ran over and we looked, and this condo was on fire.
When I seen the flames, immediately, any human being watching that, all you can think of is, are there people in there? And then I looked and seen people hanging out of the window, so I knew there were people in there.
Then we found out there were children up in that unit, and yeah, it killed all of us.
6 people were trapped inside, a couple on the 3rd floor of the building, and 4 young children on the top floor.
Mike and Susan Hayes live on the 1st floor of the building. They got out within a few minutes. After they escaped, they turned their efforts into helping their neighbors to safety.
Went out the front door of our unit, and there was a lot of smoke, and I heard a man yelling, "Oh my God, oh my God." And so I ran in to get my wife and wake her up, and I woke her up and told her, I said, "We got a fire, we got to get out of here."
The wind and the flames was coming closer to our place, and I thought, well, I've got to get out. And then the flames were just everywhere, but with God's help, I got out.
The couple on the 3rd floor was brought to safety by fire crews. The 4 children didn't survive.
It's a helpless feeling when you know that there's people trapped in there and there's nothing you can do. It's just very overwhelming.
While this community is mourning the loss of 4 young lives, residents of Compass Point did their best to help rescue their neighbors. In Osage Beach, Ryan Rumbaugh, KRCG 13 News.
We are learning more about the 4 children who died in that fire.
KRCG 13's Elizabeth Hoffman tells us about the lives that were lost.
It was supposed to be an exciting week for Kyrie Helton. She was looking forward to her birthday when she would turn 2 years old on Thursday. Her first 3 cousins came for a party on Tuesday night. But instead of more birthday celebrations, family members will now be planning funerals for all 4 children.
I'm yelling at the top of my lungs, "Are you guys okay? Are you guys okay?" I heard some screaming inside the building.
But they were not okay. Kyrie Helton, along with her cousins Leanne Hendrickson, Joshua Hendrickson, and Ziza Bradshaw, all died in the condominium fire. The children were between the ages of 1 and 5. As the shock of the news turned to reality, a makeshift memorial was created this afternoon to honor those children who were lost. Reagan Matson lives in a nearby condo. She brought one of her own stuffed animals to the makeshift memorial, along with a note she wrote for the kids.
I wanted them to read it from heaven.
Simple words of comfort from a child.
I hope you feel better in heaven. Say hi to my kitten. You'll love her.
Small words that perhaps will provide comfort to an entire community. In Osage Beach, Elizabeth Hoffman.
I love you guys so much.
KRCG 13.
Funeral arrangements for all 4 of those children are now pending. The Osage Beach community has seen an outpouring of condolences expressed to the families affected by this tragedy.
KRCG 13's Stephanie Hirata joins us now live in the studio with more on the community reaction to the devastating loss.
Kermit, Megan, an entire community is feeling the heartbreak over this fatal fire that took the lives of 4 young children. KRCG 13 spoke with many people in town today who say they were shocked by the news and they feel so sorry for the family. Osage Beach city officials expressed their sympathy as well. In a press release, Mayor Penny Lyons says their thoughts and prayers are first and foremost with the families and loved ones. And the city is asking for everyone's patience as authorities continue to investigate.
The situation is in good hands. I know that our fire department, our police, and our EMS were all on site within 10 minutes, which I'm sure further saved more lives.
Lake of the Ozarks firefighters are organizing a night of remembrance for the 4 children lost in the Compass Point fire Tuesday night. They're asking for people on Friday to shine a porch lamp, set out a flameless candle, gather your family in prayer or silent reflection. They say you can participate from anywhere. Reporting for KRCG 13, I'm Stephanie Hirata.
And as the Osage Beach community mourns the loss, church people in the area say they are willing to help.
KRCG 13's Courtney Joden joins us in the studio with more on their reaction.
The community is devastated and heartbroken over this tragedy that has taken the lives of 4 young children. Today we spoke with churches in the community, and many of them say the family did not attend their church, but say they would be more than willing to help. Leaders from several churches, such as Harper Chapel, United Methodist Church, and the church at Osage Hills, give the family their condolences and are praying for the family. LaDonna Beckmeyer, who is a children's pastor at the church at Osage Hills, says even though the family didn't attend their church, they want to and will be available to them.
The tragedy is just, mind-boggling. So, for us as a church body, to be praying for that family and, to ask God to just ease their suffering and find some kind of explanation for them.
The multiple churches in the area say they are ready to come together if needed to help the family. Organizers have set up a fund to help the families with clothing and funeral expenses. You can send a donation to the Hendrickson Memorial Fund at Central Bank of Lake of the Ozarks. The address is P.O. Box 207, Osage Beach, Missouri, 65065. You can also stop by any of the bank's locations in the Lake area to make a contribution to the fund. Lake area musician Monte Davison will perform during a benefit for the Hendrickson family at Lake of the Ozarks Batter Box Eatery and Pub this Sunday between 4 and 10 in the evening. Proceeds will help pay for the funeral services of the children. The restaurant is located at 66 North Shore Drive off Route W. Reporting for KRCG 13, I'm Courtney Joden.
You, of course, can visit our website, connectmidmissouri.com, for more fundraiser details to help the families affected in this tragedy. A chase by law enforcement to a fatal crash. It led to a fatal crash where 4 mid-Missouri young women lost their lives.
We talked to Holt Summit Police about their chase protocol. Still to come on KRCG 13 live at 10.
We had seasonal temperatures this morning in the 60s. This afternoon, well below the average in the 70s. The rain's exiting, the clouds are clearing. That could mean fog. We'll talk about your morning commute with KRCG 13. Live at 10 continues.